I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to much on social media recently. If you haven't, don't worry. I do it enough for all of us. But if you have, you would notice something that the Green Bay Packers may have dodged a bullet, okay? Basically, what I'm talking about, to kind of tee it up, Brian Gutekunst made a call this summer, and as we sit right now, August 19th, that call is looking really, really good. Welcome into the show, everybody. My name is Joey Peterson. So happy that you guys are with me. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel because our brand new Seahawks Today host, Will Ortner, challenged me to a preseason week 3 sub battle. I said, okay, whatever, sure, let's do it. Unfortunately, they're already beating us, and I can't lose a sub battle to a guy who just started 10 days ago, okay? I just refuse to do it. So I need you guys to help me out. Hit that subscribe button so we can bury him and show all Seahawks fans, Packers fans are the best. I know you still haven't forgiven them for what they did in the playoffs about a half decade ago. So if you haven't, hit that subscribe button and join us today for daily free coverage of your favorite team. All right, let's get into it. The Packers have dodged a bullet, and I'm talking about with new Baltimore Raven cornerback, old Green Bay Packer cornerback, one Jaire Alexander. And I don't know if you've been paying attention to the Ravens practice. I doubt you have, but he hasn't practiced since August 9th. It has been 10 days since the Ravens last saw him on the practice field. And this update is coming from late July, okay? He didn't show up to a random practice. Everybody was a little bit nervous. Then John Harbaugh spoke to the media, and after saying he had some swelling in his knee, had to get his knee drained, and then is expected to practice on Tuesday. He came back, practiced that Tuesday, practiced for a couple of more days, and then hasn't been back on the field since August 9th. Well, John Harbaugh was feeling the pressure. He was asked about it a lot in yesterday's post-practice press conference, and he said the following. He had something done to take care of that knee. You do some things to help it from a health standpoint. It's something he's been dealing with for a few years now, so it's not anything we didn't expect probably. But you got to take a couple of days after you do that before you can practice. And look, guys, as Packers fans, we knew that this was bound to happen. We knew that at some point in this season, Jaire Alexander was going to miss time, whether it was with Green Bay and they didn't do anything about that contract, or whether it was with Baltimore, because we've just grown accustomed to it. Think about his last 4 seasons. This isn't a graphic we showed you in a while because we haven't talked Jaire in a while, but it's one you came to know. 4 games played in 2021, full season in 2022, but then back-to-back seasons, only 7 games played. He missed 10 games in back-to-back years. And if you wonder why they didn't just keep the contract the way it was, and if you wonder why they didn't end up offering what Baltimore initially offered, and we'll get more into that in just a second, this is exactly why. And as of right now, it's kind of looking like it's paying off for a guy who hasn't practiced and has already had to do something to take care of that knee. Be honest with me. As we sit right now, are you happy Green Bay moved on from Jaire? If you are, give me a yes in the comment section. And if you're not, tell me no, but also tell me why. When I look back on this summer and that decision, like Brian Gutekunst could have crumbled and he could have offered more. He could have felt the pressure. He could have said, you know what? Man, if Jaire's not on this team, this cornerback room becomes a really big question mark. Now, it still kind of is, but he was what he was offered from Baltimore. Here's what he took from Baltimore. 1 year, $4 million base, $2 million worth of incentives, and $6 million matched. And you know how I know he didn't get that same offer from Green Bay? His dad came out on social media a couple days after the signing and told everybody. He absolutely wanted to stay in Green Bay, Landis Alexander went on. They insulted him by giving him a no-guaranteed, all-incentive-based deal that only a fool would sign. It was never about refusing to take a pay cut or thinking he's worth more. He knows he's worth more, but he also knows he's been hurt. Here's where we get into the nitty-gritty of the deal. It was 4.3, all-incentive-based, with more game incentives to take it to $6 million. The way it was structured looked like they were setting it up for a more attractive trade. So if we are being honest, it was them that did not really want him. Then he was asked by ESPN Milwaukee, basically, if Green Bay would have offered the same contract the Ravens have, would he have taken it? Would he be a Packer today? His dad went on to say yes. And honestly, it looks like Brian Gutekunst's decision is paying off at the moment. Now, $4 million, is not an insane amount of money, especially with what he was making initially before they ended up cutting him. But Brian Gutekunst knows Jaire Alexander. He knows the history of Jaire Alexander when it comes to his injuries. And he said, you know what, I just don't think it's worth that. And yes, your cornerback room, in my opinion, did take a little bit of a hit. But you also know what about this cornerback room? They've gotten very used to playing without Jaire Alexander before this year. Now, I will admit, I would not mind another cornerback on this roster. I think that would be a very, very welcome addition. Whether it's a reunion with Rasul Douglas, whether it's signing Stephon Gilmore, Mike Hilton, Sante Samuel Jr., Kendall Fuller, I really don't care. But there's still some guys that are available that I think would be pretty great additions to this room. Especially a guy like Stephon. Asante, he's got a little more injury history than I would like, especially moving off from a guy like Jaire Alexander. But with Stephon, he's played enough systems. He's played enough football. His knowledge of the game makes up for his lack of athleticism with his age. And so, yeah, I think they made the right decision. And I think they dodged a bullet, not ending up signing Jaire Alexander. Not even, golly, imagine if they just would have done nothing with that contract. But at the same time, I wouldn't mind if they had another corner. Do you think the Packers need to add another cornerback? If you do, show me by hitting that thumbs up on today's video and pressing that like button. Coming up, we got another bullet dodged, okay? Another big miss that could have been way more impactful for your Green Bay Packers. But before that, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I thought that watching football was fun. And then I watched football while also playing with our new friends over at Underdog, and it made the experience so much better. So that's why I'm so excited to tell you about our new sponsor on the Packers Report, because guess what? Football is back, and Underdog is the best place to make picks and win money all season long. Playing on Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, and more. Get your picks right, and you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. You can play with as little as $1. And I know we are in the midst of the preseason currently, but I'm a massive college football fan, and Week 0 kicks off this weekend in Dublin, Ireland. So, of course, we got to talk Iowa State, Kansas State. I've got the higher on Avery Johnson rushing yards, 45.5. Absolutely love that one. And I'm really, really interested in Rocco Beck this year. Think he's going to get higher than 1.5 passing touchdowns. You can fade my picks. You can tail my picks. Just make sure to do it with our friends over at Underdog. There's so many fun ways to play with Underdog. That's why you need to download the app today and sign up with promo code PackersReport to score $50 in bonus funds when you play your first $5. That's promo code PackersReport. Millions of fans have already won billions making picks on Underdog. Will you be next? Underdog. Make picks, win money. Must be 18 or older, 19 or older in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 or older in Colorado for some games, 21 or older in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play-and-get-terms_DFS_.html for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY to 467-369. What's that other bullet dodge, Joey? Glad you asked. Guess who's back at practice? Both Jordan Love and Romeo Doubs. They had practice yesterday, practiced again today. Actually looked really, really good today. Now, why is this a bullet dodge, Joey? Well, great question. Do we remember what happened last Tuesday? Well, we were talking about on this show last Tuesday. Remember when Brian Gutekunst just dropped the bomb out of nowhere that Jordan Love had a, quote, little procedure on his left thumb? Says it's a ligament issue. We're hoping to have him back next week. He shouldn't miss any regular season time. And now there was optimism from Brian Gutekunst, from Jordan Love, from myself as well. But still at the same time, like nothing is ever certain. especially when it's a quarterback, and especially when it has to do with his hands. Now, it wasn't his throwing hand, but still, that's a very important part of a quarterback's position. And then Rob Demovsky hit us with the great news yesterday. Jordan Love is suited up for practice, left thumb heavily taped, and Malik Willis still taking the first-team reps to start. But then he got a lot of playing time. Played a ton in 7-on-7s as well. Took snaps in the shotgun, which started in his hands just like this. Snaps from under center. They started on a stool. He was 9 for 12 during his 7-on-7 period. He also stayed out there in the rain. All they had to do was put a bag and tape a bag over his cast. That way his cast didn't get wet. And this is honestly, truly a bullet dodge for Green Bay. This could have been so much worse, especially when talking about a quarterback that last year struggled with health problems for the entirety of the season, and it impacted your team. And then he comes back today, the day after coming back to practice for the first time, and he goes 10 for 11 in 7-on-7. Throws a bomb to Romeo Doubs. That was the highlight. A lot of really, really great stuff from him today. And it looks like he really hasn't missed a beat, and hopefully he'll be fully 100% ready to go come week 1. This could have been much worse, and I'm very, very happy with the outcome of it all. Now, we don't know what Thursday's joint practice is going to look like. Matt LaFleur said he might get some run in it. We all know he's not going to be playing this Saturday against Seattle, but I really have all the faith in the world, since we're still 2.5 weeks from the football season, that he's going to be ready to go that week 1 matchup against Detroit, okay? So it could have been terrible. Instead, hey, a week later, he's back 100% almost, except, the snaps back at practice. What's your concern level with his injury? Scale it for me 1 to 100 in the comment section down below. 100, you're crazy concerned. 1, you're not concerned at all. Let me know your answer. And the reason we got to bring this up, the reason we got to talk about it is because of all the injuries that he suffered last year, right? That MCL sprain, that groin strain, the elbow injury. There were so many different things that plagued him. And all we were looking for was him being 100% this year. Because we knew after week 1, he was never going to be that in 2024. But we knew going into 25, he was already going to start that way. And then this happened. And so I hope he'll be back to 100% against Detroit. I'm happy that it's just the left thumb, not the right one. And, I know there's going to be a lot of people that are saying, Joey, honestly, it doesn't matter. I think Malik Willis is a fantastic quarterback, and you're not wrong. Malik Willis is a great backup. I love Willis, but he's not Jordan Love. He's not even close. And with the way your schedule opens, you need a guy like Jordan Love. You need your QB1. Week 1 against the Lions. Week 2 against the Commanders. Week 3 on the road to the Browns. That one may be a little bit of an easier one. But then week 4 on the road against the Cowboys. 3 teams that could win double-digit games in 2025 you have to take on in the first 4 weeks. So I'm glad that things are already progressing as they are. Make sure you got me followed on social media. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Instagram. Also, make sure, more than anything, you're subscribed to the channel. Daily videos right here on the Packers Report.